final showdown. Oh, exciting time.
3 rounds. We're going 3 rounds again.
It's up to you guys. You can do 3. You can do the best of 3 or 1 question.
I thought we were going to 4, so I'm okay either way. But Larry, I want to respect your time. So
no, the time's not the issue. But you guys should set the rules.
2 enter, 1 leaves. 2 enter, 1 leaves.
Okay.
That's the best out of 3. Let's keep it going.
Okay.
Why do you do this work? Why is this important? Why do this legislation?
Who goes first?
You, sir.
Okay. I do a show where we're lucky enough to have a lot of viewers, and unfortunately, I couldn't give them any hope from on a day-to-day basis, because every single issue goes to who has more money, whether it's on the right wing or the left wing. Whoever has more money, more lobbyists behind them wins. So what I wanted to do is focus in on what is the core essential issue. And there was no question that it was money in politics. So if we don't get money out of politics, we literally cannot fix anything else in this country. Now, if you're a Republican on this panel, why did the Democrats win on LGBTQ issues? Because honestly, we have more money on those issues. If you're on the left, why did the Republicans win on oil issues or any other issues? Because they have more money on those. So until we get rid of this problem, we don't have a fair and honest debate on any other issue. By definition, this has to be first and most important.
So Cenk's obviously right. There's nothing that gets done if we don't fix this. So what happens if nothing gets done? What happens to this nation if it continues to fund wars across the world by selling arms to everybody because it turns out to be extraordinarily lucrative, especially to the congressmen who get money from arms dealers? What's going to happen if we can't address climate change? What's going to happen if we continue to have an economic policy that cares mainly about Wall Street, I'm not going to swear again, doesn't care at all about Main Street? What's going to happen if we don't have healthcare policy that people can afford? You know, I've got 3 kids. And when a friend of mine who was at that stage also a kid, Aaron Swartz, said to me, "Why are you wasting your time on all these other issues when you know that you can't get anything done if we don't address this issue?" It was for him, and it was for my kids. And I will continue to fight until we've done this for them.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not voting in this one. Boy, that is.
I'm glad I'm not in this round. It's much better to watch.
I mean, you guys haven't been voting?
John's like, I'm doing all this work for nothing.
We're not doing our duty.
I assume we should vote. I don't know.
I got to say, though, Dr. Lessig, you just brought in something that we were referencing just before this segment, the power of a personal connection, making it hit home. You know, talking about family and painting the picture of how damaging the current system is and what it's going to be for them. That's really powerful. It packs a punch.
It's almost as if he's good at this thing.
Almost.
Sounds like
right. So we're closing that poll. Professor Lessig has pulled out the victory with 68% on that last question.
Great. Well done.
Power of the personal.
It was a little more personal, yeah.
All you, Bill.
All right, question number 2. I've had discussions with you and your group, and you've convinced me that an amendment is necessary. But why not just do this the normal way and get an amendment proposed by Congress?
So, be great. Be really great. It'd be wonderful to have Washington on our side. But you know, Washington is not on our side because Washington is filled with people who dream of the life they'll have when they've graduated from Congress and become lobbyists. And they'll be paid 10 times as much when they've graduated and become lobbyists because the system that exists right now is incredibly lucrative for the insiders. So they can talk a good talk, and there's lots of great proposals that have been pushed forward. But we know that those proposals will never get 2/3 of Congress to ratify them. You won't get 2/3 in the Senate, because to get 2/3 in the Senate, you've got to tell me who are the 25 Republicans who are going to vote in favor of such an amendment. So we have to do the only way we can get this done, which is to go to the people and get the people to tell Washington what to do.
All right, thank you. Mr. Uygur?
Yes, I agree with Larry that I would love for Congress to pass this amendment. We don't appear to be close to that, and I think everybody understands that realistically. But I can actually show it to you in the numbers too. The Disclose Act is actually very, very minor reform. It just says, hey, look, if you're going to take giant bribes from folks, just at least let us know who's giving you the money. It did not pass. It was filibustered, and it was 59 votes for it the first time around. Second time around, it was 53 votes. Now it's in the 40s. So there is no way in the world that it could even get a majority at this point for the most minor reform, let alone 2/3 for major reform. But honestly, if you gave me my druthers, I'd actually rather do through a convention. I don't want to go to Washington for help. This country is built on the people, of the people, by the people, for the people. And that's exactly what a convention does. I would prefer to go through a convention because it empowers us. It makes us believe in our own democracy. But either way, I would be thrilled to take it. As it is, this is the only realistic chance.
All right, thank you very much. God damn, we're finishing strong.
Yeah.
All right, voting is open. Let's see how they did. It almost feels wrong to switch to trivial banter after such profound answers.
I'll say I'm going
it's
to
too
miss this
intense.
platform after this weekend. You know, we've kind of been living in this venue here for the last 48 hours. It's pretty cool.
Oh my God.
You know?
I'm just a little disappointed, Mike, that in all this time, no one has entered the library.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet, isn't it?
They're keeping social distance.
Yeah, they're staying
At least you can
apart.
do maskless.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Mike anywhere else in weeks, months.
I've been using the same background for weeks. That's right. Yeah.
I'm the only person that showed up to this committee hearing. I don't understand. Like, there's nobody else here.
You got to up your committee game.
I
Not
know.
enough people
I
are
know.
showing up.
I
You
know.
see, I can't use the fancy backgrounds because it doesn't know where my beard is correctly, and it just goes wonky. It looks terrible.
Oh, no.
What you got to do is shave clean and then digitally add the beard back in.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, folks. So somewhat predictably, Cenk has forced a game 7 with 79% of the vote on his side.
Oh man, could it
Wow.
be any more tense? Could it be any more tense, John?
Literally no.
So much fun.
I can barely breathe.
I mean, you got the two heavy. I mean, seriously, this is pretty cool. You got the two heavyweights of the movement right here. And going to a game 7, as you said. This is awesome. That's
All
I
right.
have a daydream where we do this together in the last state. In my daydream, I don't know why, it's always Utah.
All right, Jason, lower the cage.
Ask about the delegates.
Before the final round, I have a question that's a little off script, but I think a really important one. What would you say to the people that are so scared right now with how things are, with how hopeless it seems? How would you encourage them to keep up the fight? Dr. Lessig?
Am I first here?
I think Cenk's first, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, disregard me. Cenk, go ahead, sir.
Senator, do you mean scared in terms of how the reform movement is going, or the state of the country?
State of the country.
Okay, gotcha. I actually greatly empathize with the people who are worried about the state of the country. So whether it's the Democrats on the one side worried about Donald Trump, Or it's the Republicans who are so worried about the establishment and the swamp in D.C. that they decided to go with Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton in the first place. I empathize with both of those sets of folks because the country is in disastrous shape. And there's a very clear answer as to why that's the case. It's money in politics. Pre-1976, before the Supreme Court decisions that began to put corporate money into politics, we actually had the #1 economy in the world, and the rewards of that economy were equally distributed. Not equality of results, but equality of opportunity, and it showed in every chart and every economic indicator. As things stand now, well, we are in disastrous shape because the corruption has taken all of the money and all the power and resources and put it towards the elites instead of the situation we're in. We have the answer. This is the answer. The Republicans agree, the Democrats agree, over 90% of Americans agree. If you end the corruption, we can actually get back to a flourishing country that has a real thriving democracy instead of the swamp and decadence that we have today in DC.
Thank you, sir.
So a couple days before the Constitution was actually proposed to the public, they had a system for amending the Constitution where only Congress could propose amendments. And George Mason stood up on the floor and said, what if Congress is the problem? What amendment could happen then? And it was it was the first duh moment in American history. And they realized they needed a different way. When the system had been corrupted, they needed to bring somebody on the outside in. So I get people looking at this country and thinking it's hopeless. But we have to recognize what's driving the hopelessness. And the hopelessness is being driven by a corrupted system from the very top that won't open itself up enough to allow real change to happen. And the way to get real change is to do exactly what George Mason's question triggered, an outside process that is not by Washington insiders who can make it so they change the system and make it work again. It's the only out. And we've got to take it. We've got to take that shot. Okay, that was a Hamilton reference thrown in for free.
Thank you. Thank you both for your replies.
Oh man, this is gonna be close.
Final vote, folks. This is the one.
Wow.
We had an elbow from the sky from Cenk, and then Larry countered. It was, oh man.
I'm gonna go total cornball before the vote comes in and say we're all winners.
Well,
we got to watch all of
But
this.
one person a bit more of a winner than the rest.
Yeah, normally, good thing we're on the same side. Normally.
All the lights go down. Oh, it's Roddy Piper from the side. All right.
My heart is so fast for this one.
Okay. For the championship, our 2020 committee hearing champion is Larry Lessig.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Wow. Thank you.
Excellent.
Well done,
Godfather.
everyone.
Congratulations.
Brilliant.
And he did so by inspiring the nation.
Well, that makes sense since Larry taught me.
Not true, Jake. Not true.
You
Thank
both
so
make
much.
me feel less hopeless.
That is the
Congratulations,
ultimate. That is
Larry.
the ultimate goal. That is the ultimate goal.
These mock committees are my favorite part of all the workshops. I'm so glad this was able to work out in the virtual format.
Great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah. Cenk, great job, man.
Okay, I just want to say one thing before we go. So first off, I want to thank everybody that participated, both in the committee hearing, but watching at home, and everyone who's ever made one call, sent one email, shared one thing in social media. You're making more of a difference than, unfortunately, almost all of our legislators combined. And so when we say stuff that we said here in this hearing, we're all here on a Sunday afternoon because we mean it from the bottom of our hearts. And this country is supposed to be of the people, by the people, for the people. And you guys are it. You are those people. And so there's, the idea that we could win is amazing. And what inspires us a lot of us to keep going. But what's scarier is the idea of not winning. And if we don't, this corruption will last forever, and it will sap the life out of this country. So our only two options are to fight like you guys are, or to shrink back on the couch and accept defeat. And every one of you that's watching, the fact that you have not accepted that defeat and you choose to fight is not only terrific, but it's our only chance at winning. If you guys were not here and not in any of these groups and not fighting back, then defeat would be guaranteed. So I love you all for it. And if you can, the people at Wolfpack work so hard. They work so hard. So please be that change and support them. wolf-pack.com/go to make that happen.